heatwave rudely interrupted us, and try to get useAuth, the open source library for doing authentication in any React app. We're going to try to finally convert it to using XState. We've left off where we replaced the core reducer of the library with XState. So we have now a state machine that we can visualize and all of that fun stuff. The part that's still missing is actually using said state machine. So that's what we're going to work on today and hopefully get it done in the next 45 minutes, maybe an hour or so. And the main thing I want to see is, one, if we can use XState instead of using context completely, and if that still makes sense with the library. The other part is just integrating it so we can move away from use reducer, and that should help us next time we do this, or in a while, move to actually supporting multiple different authentication methods rather than just authentication providers. So my hotkeys don't work today. I don't know how the computer decides when those work and don't. So I might not be up to date with switching my camera. Also, please let me know in the chat room if the stream is working today or if I am dropping all of the frames. So we're going to start with, why are there changes? Git diff, what did I change in it? Oh, did I forget to commit? I forgot to commit. So I'm going to run tests to make sure that tests are passing as they currently stand, because we put in a lot of work into actually testing useAuth. I know what I changed. I changed how the tests work to a way that's better, but I'm not going to rewrite all of those right now. So I'm going to see if the tests are passing, and then we're going to go and start swapping things around. Hopefully, okay, so tests are good. And hopefully we're going to be able to very easily switch from from the reducer to the state machine, but honestly, I haven't really looked into that yet. So I'm going to commit this, git commit -a, attempt at better tests. Hey Alesh, how are you doing tonight? So I'm gonna go here. The next step is here in useAuth, where we are importing the reducer. useAuth, where is it? Where is the reducer? Auth reducer. I'm not importing it in this library at all. Also, VS Code changed again. That's fun. Let's see. So we have the useAuth library. Where are we actually using this reducer? How do I not remember where that is? So we have the auth reducer, or we now have the auth machine, which is exported, and we're exporting it as auth state, which is being interpreted. So then where am I actually importing the auth reducer? Git grep auth reducer, and I'm going to make sure we're searching only through the source code. It happens in the auth provider. That makes sense. So the auth provider is where we, so the auth provider is where we're actually using our state machine, or where we're going to be using our state machine. It's the part that handles context, makes sure the APIs work together, and puts everything into place. So in theory, we should be able to swap out the auth reducer with the state machine, and tests should still pass, and the library should keep working. So that's going to be the first thing we try. So we have here the auth provider, which is importing the auth reducer. It's going to import auth state, which is the interpreted state machine. And I'm going to sneakily take away auth reducer. Then we go down here in auth provider, we instantiate the auth client, and then instead of use reducer, here we're going to, am I actually using the auth state anywhere? It might make sense to, yes. Okay, we're going to import the auth machine instead. So we're going to import the auth machine, and then down here, where are we? Const state, we're going to say const state and send equals use machine. Come on, use machine, recommend it. No, why didn't you want to recommend that stuff? We're going to pass in the auth machine, and use machine is going to come from XState. So we say import use machine from @XState React, I think. Oh, maybe that's why I didn't install. Let's try adding that. Your yarn add @XState/React. That should give us the things. COVID took. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, Lesh. I hope you're able to find a new job very quickly. What's the situation like with that in Slovenia? Or are you looking mostly remote for the US or whatever? So we now have the state and the auth machine here. Do we want to get the get default state? Do we need that? Get default state gets initialized from aha. So that's going to be tricky. We're going to have to figure that one out. Come on. State I'm going to take that out, and let's see if XState state machine lets us pass in the existing context. So docs, let's go for use machine, and maybe we can pass in initial context or initial state. Machine options guards state context. Aha. So we should be able to pass in the context, but I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be, because we're gonna figure that out later. So we have the state and we're passing state into the context. We're going to say that this state, what is it currently expecting? So we don't have the dispatch action. Let's see, how are we calling the dispatch action? Auth use state auth context state. If we look at the definition of that, we have state, which is the auth state. We can get that as so this is going to be tricky. So the tricky part here is that we don't really get access to this right away. So what we need to do is subscribe to the machine. Oh no, actually we don't. We get the state directly. So instead of state, we can here say state.context, because we are saving application state in the context, which has the auth state that we want. And then instead of dispatch, we're going to add the send method, which should we? Yes, we need to refactor that. So instead of dispatch, we're going to call this send. And then in auth context state, we're going to call this send, which is going to be a send. What does send give us? It's a function that takes an event object, and some stuff. Let's see what the use machine returns. Come on, use machine. Okay, so we're going to take this. Use machine declares get machine, and it returns the state and this part. So I'm going to add that to our type definition in here. Okay, that should work, and we should get interpreter from XState and tContext from, come on, no? Where does tContext come from? Where does the interpreter come from? Or actually, interpreter tContext, tstate schema, okay, let's make this as a, what? How does this work? God damn, these TypeScript types are getting really complicated. Oh, interesting. Alesh, that is a very interesting situation with Corona. It's not that bad over here. Okay, so I'm going to say this is just a function for now, because we're going to type this. We're going to figure out the proper typing for this later. Figure out proper typing. So then we go back to our auth provider. Where are we? Auth provider, which gets the state context send. What's it saying? It's saying that this is not an const send, which is an any. Okay, let's just call it an any then. Any. Okay, so it's send. Now, what are you complaining about? Context state. Oh, right. We need to remove dispatch because that doesn't exist anymore. So now this passes. We get the context. We get the value of our context, which is, so we're using state for the context value, and then we're using set context value as a function. I don't think we're gonna need this anymore. Will we? Let's see. Update context value and trigger re-render. This pattern avoids unnecessary deep renders. Yes. So context value. What is this complaining about? Argument of type state blah is not assignable to auth context state. What? Why is it not assignable? I'm very confused by what I did in my own function here. Nice. Okay, so set context value, which auth context state. Why is it saying that? Oh, I see what the problem is. Because we need to say state.context now, right? Yes, okay. So we need to make sure that when we're setting state, we're not doing the full state machine, we're actually doing just the application state part of the state machine. And this is something we can clean up afterwards. Right now, we're just trying to make it work. So then we, on load, we, instead of dispatch, we send what? If we look at index use machine auth reducer, the first event we can send is we're unauthenticated, and then we're going to send authenticating. We send authenticating. Let's do it like that. So we're saying that we're currently authenticating when the thing starts. So then when we finish checking the session, then we are going to say either authenticated or error, right? Oh, wait, no. We are going to send login. So we send login, which, is it supposed to get an event? No, I think that should be fine. This is going to be tricky. So we send login, then we check the session. Login, we're sending that just to say, show the loading spinner, basically. And we check the session. And when the session is checked, we say if console log error. Okay, that's still useful. And then if we got an error, we're going to send a, what is it? We're going to send an error with an event. Let's see, save error to context, which gets the event error type and event error. So we say send error with all of the other stuff. So we have the check session error and the error, which is the actual error. And then for handle auth result, we're going to pass in the send method. And this is a function that we need to fix as well. It would be nicer if it had direct access to whatever. But I did it this way. So handle auth result gets send, and it doesn't send stop authenticating, but it says if everything worked, then it sets the session, which again gets the send method into it. We say handle auth result interface becomes send, which is an any. I'm going to regret doing that, aren't I? So we get send goes into send session, and then if there's an error, we send a error, and you know, the same auth result thing and all of that. Okay, so we've got that. And then in set session, that one, where are we calling set session, or where is it defined? Set session gets the send method, and the send method says it's undefined, right? And then we finally do get the user info, and we say, okay, if there was an error getting the user info, we are again sending the error event to put us in the error mode. Come on, like that. And then otherwise, we send the authenticated event, right? Because it means, yes, everything worked out. So we are authenticated. So when, oh, come on, authenticated, send authenticated, like that. And we are pushing in the auth result and the final user, and then we resolve the promise. So this should, oh, I need to update the type here. Send any here. Set session interface, send any. So that's going to be something, the any part is going to have to be fixed later, because right now it's not very helpful. Okay, so we've fixed that. Now we need to fix the dispatch parts everywhere else. useAuth interface, this no longer has dispatch, and the useAuth Okay, so I have no idea what my internet is doing. It seems to be jumping up and down wildly. I really need to stop using Wi-Fi for this. Let's see. What is going on here? Okay, anyway, so now what we're doing next is updating the actual useAuth hook so that it's using the XState send stuff instead of the useReducer dispatch. So we're going to say when you click logout, we want to send the logout action, which should do everything on its own, shouldn't it? Let's see, auth reducer. If you're authenticated and we log out, then we go into the unauthenticated state, which takes care of clearing all of the context and all of that stuff. So that's good. Now, where were we? Why is this so complicated? So log out, and we say if we are handling authentication, we need to, I don't know why this is here. This does not need to be here, I think. But when we are handling the auth result, actually, let's say that we are, when we're handling authentication, I'm going to send the login event, because that puts us in the, we're currently loading state. Hi, Bert. So login, then is authenticated stays the same. Handle result also stays the same, because handle result is already doing all of the sending and stuff for us. So handle, come on, tab auth reducer, no, tab use auth. So that means we're sending, and then what else? That's sending now. Okay, so this in theory should just work. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna now try if this is actually working. Let's verify that we're no longer using the dispatch method anywhere. Git grab dispatch on source. Okay, so that's in spec. In spec, I don't really want to. I think the tests are gonna have to be fixed. There's still auth provider TSX where we are doing dispatch. Let's see. Auth provider TSX, where am I still dispatching something? Here. I'm saying send by default needs to be just a function. Okay. So what I'm gonna do next is just try if this works. So use auth, let's go into an example. And I'm going to say, let's see, ls Let's go into the useAuth Gatsby example. That's the most basic example that I have. I'm going to run yarn start, which I think is set up so that it compiles the underlying library and then uses it in the actual project, which hopefully will let us test the new implementation, whether it works at all. Currently, we have a currently we have a known bug where initially when you start, you're not in the authenticating state, and we're not restoring your local storage just yet. So when you start, we don't know whether you're logged in, and we need you to log in again. We're gonna fix that once we get this actually running. So first I want to see that the XState version using XState actually runs. Then we're going to try to clean it up so that we're no longer relying on context as much, and then we can go from there. All right. And okay, so you see here we built the underlying library, and now see, is anyone actually there, or did my okay? I wonder why my Restream app isn't showing who's watching correctly. All right, so I'm gonna go to localhost 8000, and it's still building. Okay, Gatsby built. Okay, stream seems to be acting kind of okay today. All right, so I can now reload this page. Is it gonna show up? No, still in progress. So this is the part that's really frustrating about trying to stream Gatsby stuff, is that it's slow, especially when my computer is busy doing all of the computer things. Okay, so we've got this. Localhost, it loaded. Invalid hook call. Hooks can only be called inside the body of a function component. This could happen for one of the following reasons. What? What am I doing? This is frustrating. Okay, so where am I calling a hook that is outside of a functional component? Or is the problem that I have multiple versions of React running? How do I fix this again? Oh, I think I know what I need to do. This is gonna suck. Let's first verify. Where am I calling use machine happens in a functional component, and that's the only thing that we really changed. So what I'm gonna try to do is yeah, I'm linking shit here. Yeah, learn is slow. Let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Node modules, ls node modules is the useAuth function there. React useAuth is there. So I'm gonna do something. Wait, I totally forgot. How is this actually configured? Let's look at the Gatsby example and go from there. Random coding, use auth, the use create React app, use create next app, use auth Gatsby. So if we look at the Gatsby example, I think package JSON is gonna have some fun things. So we have the relative depths thing, and I'm going to comment this out for now, and I'm going to try to actually install the library and see. That's weird. Hide the bot father. Okay, so what I'm gonna try to do is not use relative dependencies because I don't know how that's working, and I'm going to try to actually install the latest version of the latest version of the library and deploy. We're going to like publish it as a beta, whatever. Git status. I'm going to say git commit. Let's do yarn build just to make sure we have the latest stuff, and then I'm going to publish, and then we're going to install it. And when it's installed, we're going to try it. And this is going to be a painful process, but I need to make sure that I'm not falling prey to the whole double React app problem, because that is super annoying to debug. All right, come on. Yarn build. Come on, yarn build. While that's loading, let's see if XState has any help for us around persisted and rehydrated state services. Let's look at services. The service created in use machine can be referenced as the third returned value. Okay, no. Quick start. I want to see if there's a way that, I know that David says that we can use this without okay. Use actor. Use as effect. As layout effect, use machine. Okay. So we're gonna be able to deal with that later. So git status, git commit -a-m. And this commit is going to say what? Use XState instead of reducer in auth provider. Okay, so we've got that. And now I'm going to change the package version. We're going to say this is 0.9 -0. Git commit -a-m. This means that it's a pre-release version, or rather a test version for me to play with. I'm going to run npm publish and actually publish the library, spam the npm repository. I need my OTP code from my watch. Honestly, getting what was I saying? Getting Authy on my watch was the best idea I ever had. So useAuth Gatsby, you can now say yarn add react useAuth add 090 -0. An unexpected error occurred. Please open what? Unexpected token in JSON. What did I do? What am I doing with my JSON here? Okay. So we're going to yarn add that thing, right? That should install the new version of React useAuth. Come on. And then we're going to try if this was the problem was that we had two versions of React, or if I'm actually doing something very, very, very wrong. So that's installing. Okay. Relative depths command not found. Sure. Relative. Oh, post install, pre-start, pre-build, pre-test. We can remove all of this as well. Right? Okay. And then we say yarn start. And we're going to, no, for the love of fuck. Come on, prettier. Oh, is prettier not running because of this problem? Of course it's not. I would like to use prettier for everything, VS Code. Hide notifications because they're annoying. So now yarn is rerunning, or Gatsby is rerunning, which means what? Okay, let's reinstall everything because it seems to be erroring out. Okay, yarn start. What? This is okay. So Gatsby develop is running. Now what is Gatsby develop going to do? By the way, can you guys hear my bird screaming in the background? Okay, I need to remove all of the modules and reinstall this shit. Okay, apparently even removing node modules takes a while when your computer is busy streaming. Okay, yarn. Let's reinstall that shit. Let's see if there's anything here about context. Context, initial context, invoking machines, XState test context. Nah. So I think we'll be able to use XState without using like without using the React context. I just need to make sure that the basic functionality works first before we can go there. Come on, computer, you got this. Okay, come on. Come on, computer. Come on. All right. Wow. Okay, there's more. Why is there always more to install than you think there is? Building fresh packages. Maybe we should have gone with the option of running building tests and running those. That might have been easier. But come on. Come on. You got this, computer. Let's see if anyone is patient with me. Okay. 3 people are being patient. That's nice. I guess it makes sense. Watching later, you can just scroll forward. Really? Come on, computer. Yay, okay. Yarn start. So after those painful 2 minutes, we can now run this run Gatsby and see if this error goes away. I hope. We'll see. Come on, Gatsby. Come on, Gatsby. Run. Okay. Come on. In progress. You got this. Okay. Come on. Come on, computer. You got this. You can do it. Oh, now it's... Weren't you already building the development bundle? Come on. Okay. Come on. What are you doing, computer? What are you so busy with? Interesting. Okay. Yay. No? Yes. Success. Okay. So will it run now or are we still run? Yeah, okay. So I was right. The problem was with how we were loading the development library. So now we can try if the login flow works. So login. That part worked. We went to auth 0. Okay. Wow, it is very, very slow. And I can log in. That still works. And we go here and we redirect and we are logged in. Awesome. Yes. So, come on. Oh, yay, now it worked. So we've got the login system working using XState, and we can look in local storage and see that it is, in fact, all set up. We have the useAuth expired. Oh, I can't go back. Okay. Now can I go back? Yay. Okay. So we have the useAuth expires that worked, and the user was configured. So login actually works. The part that doesn't work is recognizing that from context. See, so here it's verifying. Oh, nice. It actually did work. Sweet. Okay. So that's kind of annoying because it's not reloading us from local storage, but it is at least verifying. So the next step we're going to do is read initial state from local storage. And the way we're going to do that, I think it's best if we don't try to hack it into the system. We're going to actually use an event for that. So we're going to use a proper XState transition to do that part. So we're going to go back into the auth provider. And here, if you look at where we have get default state, which used to read from storage, what can we do here? How can we rehydrate this properly? Use machine, the auth machine. When we are unauthenticated, which is how we start. See, the machine starts as initial is the unauthenticated state. So we're going to create a yeah. So we can send the login, and then we can send the authenticated message, which makes the most sense. So we're going to do this. We're going to hydrate state. Hydrate from local storage. And we're going to take the state and the send to do that. Or actually, we just need the send. So we're going to take the send, which is what sends an event to the state machine. So hydrate from local storage is going to go here. And instead of function get default state, we're going to say function hydrate from local storage, which gets the send method, which is still an any, because that's something we're going to fix later. And it's going to say, we're going to take this stuff, copy it here, and say if oh, okay. Actually, no, we can just do it in here. So here we go. We're going to, if we have local storage, then we start hydrating. If expires that is after when we are after the current date, which means the user is going to expire in the future, then we say const store state equals blah, and we're going to say send the login method. Actually, no, we can just send the authenticated method directly, can't we? Let's see. Do we ever send? So we send login on in the beginning anyway. So what we can do here is send login, and we're going to send the authenticated state, which gets what? It's going to get the user. And what else are we expecting in the authenticated state? So when we are authenticated, here, start authenticating, stop, save user to context. It needs the user, the auth result, and expires that. So let's see where we have the expires at. Do we save? We can, oh no, we can just say stored state. Stored state, but the auth result is going to not be populated because we don't have it. So that's hydrating us from local state, and we no longer need this function, do we? Because nobody's calling it. Default state. Aha. Create context. We're going to, we are going to deal with that later. State, yes. So we need to, what do we need to do here? The auth reducer, I'm going to copy this for now and paste it here. We're going to fix that as well. Why is prettier not doing things? Is it disabled? Of course it's disabled. Yes, use prettier. Yes, use prettier. So annoying. Why did VS Code have to do that? Okay, so we are now initializing the thing. Oh, nice. The bot father, you should totally check out my serverless workshop. Or at least my serverless handbook. It's exactly for people like you, kind of. What kind of stuff are you planning to build with serverless? So we have the context, we have the auth provider. So now I gotta see, do we actually need this? Verify user is logged in on auth provider mount. Avoid storing sensitive data. Yes. But we don't actually, yeah, let's use that. So we're logging in and we also try to put you in the authenticated thing. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to go through a slightly painful process of, oh, okay, we don't need that anymore. So I'm going to have to rebuild the library, republish it with a new version, and then test it here in this thing. This is a slightly painful process, but it's a process that works. So we're going to use it. Not auth reducer, package JSON. This is now going to be version 1. And we say yarn build. So we're building it, and hopefully TypeScript is going to be smart enough for us to, avoid any really painful issues. And I probably should be writing tests. Ooh, nice. So the bot father, I actually have an example of how to use serverless with Chrome Puppeteer in serverless handbook. Actually uses scraping as an example. Right. So let's see what's going on here. So the part we're working on right now is actually rehydrating the correct context, rehydrating you as a logged in user from local storage. Let's see. Will that work? And that's basically going to prevent the flash of unauthenticated content if you're already authenticated. All right. So git commit -a-m. Rehydrate user state from local storage. And we say npm publish. And I look at my watch to get the token. Okay. Cool. And now I go here and I say yarn add 0.1. And then we're going to restart Gatsby, and hopefully it's going to just work. And if it doesn't, we're going to figure out why not. So we're installing the library. I don't know why it needs to go through 1,900 packages every time when we're installing just one. But that's how this shit works. Okay, yarn start. Let's see. So now I'm hoping this will be faster than it was last time, but I honestly don't know if it will. Okay, we're at 45 minutes now. We're making really good progress, I think. So 45 minutes in, and we've pretty much refactored a big part of this. Okay, in progress. So Carlos, the reason I'm using XState is because I think it's going to make it easier to add the ability to use different authentication providers. I also wanted to have XState because it's a little more controllable than use Reducer, and it's generally a cleaner way to implement complex state transitions and complex state machines. So that's why I replaced use Reducer with XState, and I'm hoping that it's also going to let me build this library so it doesn't need a provider. So you don't need to have a global. Basically, the idea is that you would be able to use useAuth without having to wrap your entire tree in a function, which would then have various implications on how easy it is to use. I fucked up. What did I fuck up? Or what did I mess up? Expires in of undefined. What am I doing? Where am I calling expires in? Git grep expires in source. We're calling it in authreducer.ts. Aha. Interesting. So here where I'm calling authenticate, the authenticated action, I am passing in the wrong stuff. So let's see. Let's say const user instead. Const user equals that. And then expires in. Let's see, what is authenticated doing? If we look at auth reducer, wow, my girlfriend is cutting onions downstairs and it's making my eyes water. So tonight's dinner is going to be intense. So what am I doing here? Where am I using expires in? Log in. No, that's the auth reducer. Aha. Save user to context, gets the auth result, expires in. And I'm using that, which I don't have when I'm rehydrating, do I? Because we don't want to store the entire auth result. Let's see if I do store it, because I've honestly forgotten. Yeah, exactly. See, I'm glad you agree, Carlos. So let's see, use auth user. Oh, I can filter. Use auth. Yeah. So we just have the user. We don't have the auth result. So we need to look at the expires. We need to fake expires in. So we're going to pass in a user, and we're going to pass in an auth result as we're going to see what the auth result needs. In expires in needs to be new date minus, and we said that this is in seconds. So this is new date minus expires at, and we need to divide that by 1000, which is get time. Come on, new date. How do I do new date dot get time, right? And then this one expires at also dot get time. Do I need anything else in the auth result? No. Really, is that not typed? Okay. So we're gonna try this now. And I'm going to verify that dates act the way I think they do. Come on. And while that I'm doing that, I'm going to yarn build. Oh, I need to, yeah, no, I can run yarn build. So let's open a console. Console. Come on. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna zoom this in. We say T1 equals new date. And we say T2 equals new date. And I'm going to give it a couple seconds just so we can see. All right. So now if we say T2.getTime minus T1.getTime, and we divide all of that by 1000, we see 6.3 seconds. So that's good. The expires in function is going to work correctly because it's in seconds. And yes. All right. So now I'm waiting for this to run, and then we're gonna try again. So it's compiling. While that's compiling, I can go update this 090 -2. Okay. Git commit -a -m. We're going to say, what do we say here? Fix expires at when rehydrating. Npm publish. Look at my watch for the code. Okay, doke. Got that. And now we are going to add it here. Yarn add. Da 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 dum. Come on. And what happens next? Wow, I'm running at a full 20 frames per second. That's kind of sad. Come on. Oh, wow, okay. Many dependencies for some reason. I'm happy you can smell the onions, Martin. I don't know if you can tell, but my eyes are starting to water over here. So we're running Gatsby again, and hopefully this time it's going to work. Come on. Yay! It's almost there. Almost there. Okay. 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 Da 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 da. Ba-da ba-da bam. Come on, build the development bundle. Come on, you can do this, computer. One more test. Come on. Yay, okay. Will it run? Yes. It ran, but it did not figure out that I am logged in. See, it's verifying, and then it just dies. Wah. Okay, so the logged in state doesn't quite work, but we are up to an hour, so I'm going to stop there. Wait, no, it worked. Did it work? Let's try that again. So I'm not doing anything. Will it? Oh, I think this is also partially a problem because Gatsby is being too smart for us. So Gatsby loads. It's verifying me as a person and I become logged in. Okay, so that part is working, right? If I reload the page, I start as logged out. I started as logged out. And it doesn't do... What? That is so weird. Why isn't it working? Verifying, and then I'm in. But if I reload the page again, it doesn't work. Huh. Weird. Event authenticated was sent to uninitialized service useAuth and is deferred. Make sure .start is called for this service. Interesting. So that's the problem. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. So I'm going to stop live coding now. Thanks everyone for watching. We've made a lot of really good progress on this. I'm going to maybe mess around with this a little later tonight or tomorrow morning. There's going to be a write-up about it on my blog and my newsletter. And I like leaving things at a bit of a cliffhanger. So join me on Sunday when we're going to continue working on this and actually try to get rid of the provider component so that we can use XState instead of context. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you on Sunday. Actually, I might not see you on Sunday because it's my birthday and maybe my girlfriend's gonna make me like celebrate and stuff, you know, the normal human things that people do. But I'm gonna try to be here. So bye.